Ladies and gentlemen, please turn your attention to the screens for the CFSI Motorola Solutions Mason Lankford Fire Service Leadership Award presentation.
What he did, grounded in values of the fire service.
Well, Mason Lankford was a Texas firefighter.
He leaves behind such an incredible legacy.
Passionate about what he did, grounded in values of the fire service.
He just happened to know people in the right places, and he happened to be in the right place at the right time.
He was the one that helped get the Institute started and the Fire Service Caucus started.
Mason is your fire chief or your fire marshal. Actively involved at the state level, actively involved at the local level.
So I guess the best way to say is Mason's pretty much a fireman's firefighter.
Fortunately, Motorola stepped forward and offered their full support for this award that we named in honor of Mason. And it has really helped us, again, carry forward Mason's legacy and honor people who are like Mason that have done so much for the nation's fire service.
It's interesting, there's such a diversity in the previous award winners and what they've done for the fire service. They come from all areas. But the one thing they have in common were the very values that Mason exhibited in his career, and it's the values of the fire service.
They are consensus builders. They are the people who are willing to work together to address the challenges that impact the fire service as a whole.
This year's recipients are twofold, Steve Austin and Tony O'Neill. Both of them have served as the chair of our National Advisory Committee. Both of them have been active in specific advancement of pieces of legislation. Both of them have been representatives from other organizations, multiple other organizations. And they are people who day to day are working issues for every level of fire and EMS representative in this country.
Tony O'Neill is an outstanding person. He had an extensive career in the National Fire Protection Association. He's from the state of Maryland, which is always good. And again, Tony is a person who can cut right to the heart of the issue. He understands what the issues are, and he's able to articulate in a very succinct way what needs to be accomplished, what the path to accomplishment is, and actually get that achieved.
Tony's impact through accreditation. Accreditation always kind of takes a back seat and it stays under the radar. But at the end of the day, our professional qualifications based on our certifications, and those certifications grounded in accreditation. It's not as sexy as command on the big ones, but it's critical and for the foundation of how we do what we do and stay safe in doing it.
Steve Austin is a bit of a wise old owl. And what I mean by that is that I don't think I know anybody in the fire service who is more politically minded than Steve Austin. He can absolutely help you walk through and figure out about any situation that he and I have ever talked about.
Every time Steve gets involved in something, you can expect two things to happen. You can expect advancement of that organization or issue, and you can expect results out of those advancements.
I was taken aback about being at the CFSI National Advisory Committee when President Bill Genoway of the CFSI announced that there would be two awards this year, and that my good friend Tony O'Neill and I were going to be recipients of the award.
It's an honor to be selected along with Steve Austin. We've known each other for 30 plus years, and we've always been partners in trying to get the fire service and fire protection advanced here in the United States. And it's been, he's a great people person, a person who can make the contacts that you need, and so we've worked very effectively together in all kinds of legislative and other fire service areas. So it's an honor to have been selected along with him.
Both Steve and Tony are experts at bringing people together, building coalitions, reaching a consensus so that you can get things done. Because you don't get much done by yourself.
Please welcome onto the stage the 2018 recipients of the CFSI Motorola Solutions Mason Lankford Fire Service Leadership Award. Steve Austin, and Tony O'Neill, accompanied by CFSI Vice President Jim Estep, Mike Leonard, Vice President of the Mid-Atlantic Territory for Motorola Solutions.
Good evening. Since 1999, Motorola Solutions has been the proud sponsor of the Mason Lankford Fire Service Leadership Award, an award that recognizes individual achievements in making the fire service a safer profession for all those who serve. The same guiding principle that characterizes this award drives the innovation at Motorola Solutions to develop mission-critical communications technologies for our nation's first responders. Tonight, we have the distinct honor of recognizing two outstanding individuals who have demonstrated throughout their careers the true essence of leadership. What they have achieved through their actions and through their words provides an invaluable lesson and benchmark to future leaders of the importance of character, integrity, and civility in how we perform our work. It's my pleasure to turn the podium over to Mr. Jim Estep for the presentation of the award. Jim?
Good evening. Mike, thank you, and thank Motorola Solutions from everyone in this audience for all of the work that you've done over the past 90 years, and I understand you're going to stay on for another 90, so we appreciate that. These two recipients are not only worthy of this award, but there isn't anyone in this room that probably doesn't know of them and hasn't heard of them. Tonight, the O'Neill families and the Austin families, I know, are extremely proud that these hometown boys from Maryland and Delaware, late of Maine, are here tonight to receive the top award here at CFSI. So on behalf of the Congressional Fire Services Institute, it is an honor to ask Tony O'Neill to come forward as our first recipient of this dual award, the 2018 CFSI Motorola Solutions Mason Lankford Leadership Award. Tony O'Neill. You got to hold it for just a second. But it might... Yeah, I know.
That'd make a good anchor on my boat. I am deeply honored to be receiving this award commemorating Mason Lankford, who was so instrumental in helping launch the Congressional Fire Caucus some 31 years ago. Along with the then House Speaker Jim Wright, when you look at the two of them, it certainly helped that they were both Texans. Anybody here from Texas? Yeah, there we go. At that time, there was skepticism about the ability of the diverse American Fire Service to come together with a common voice here in Washington. Congressman Curt Weldon knew better and led the effort to form the Congressional Fire Services Institute, CFSI, which brings all of us together tonight. Now, as you heard from the previous speakers, we speak with a common voice, and indeed Congress listens. It is also a special honor to be standing here with my good friend Steve Austin, who, by the way, is a master of connecting the dots in fire service politics. That is quite an achievement. And I especially want to thank Motorola Solutions, which has been an industry partner with CFSI from its very beginning. And thank you, Mike, for your personal leadership at that post.
Thank you, Tony. Mimi, would you and the O'Neill clan please stand and take a bow there for a second? Traveled a long way. Our next recipient is someone who not only has worked out front, but has worked behind the scenes, and he is the only award recipient that I know that actually owns his own firehouse. He has it in his backyard, and that is literally the truth. Steve Austin is a legend, and he's a legend in his own time. And I know that Mason would certainly say that to Tony and to Steve Austin, the award recipients could not be more deserving. So again, on behalf of the Congressional Fire Services Institute, it is my distinct honor to present the second 2018 CFSI Motorola Solutions Mason Lankford Leadership Award to Steve Austin. Mike, come up. Just the fact that you can hold it up is good.
Yeah, that's a good thing. Good work. That's a good thing. As Jim pointed out, I do have the honor of having a firehouse attached to our home, and got just the place for that. I want to congratulate Tony for being a co-recipient of this award. For over 30 years, we've worked together. We spent a lot of time together with professional qualifications, particularly over at the Pro Board, and it's something that working with Chief Estep there is obviously a highlight of my career. You know, tonight's theme of the dinner is personal to me because I have been committed for many years to engage future leaders so they can enjoy the opportunities that I have been granted in the fire service. And there's a number of my mentors and mentees out in this audience tonight, and I appreciate every one of them. I want to thank Mike and Motorola and CFSI for selecting me, and most importantly, thank you, Shirley Austin, for being at my side through thick and thin. I owe a debt of gratitude to all the organizations who provided me with the opportunity to serve in responsible positions. The International Association of Arson Investigators, the Delaware Volunteer Firefighters Association, the Cumberland Valley Volunteer Firemen's Association, IFSTA, IFC, NFPA, the Fallen Firefighters Foundation, and all the other organizations where I have been honored to be a member. Most importantly, thanks to my brothers and sisters at the Aetna Hose Hook and Ladder Company of Newark, Delaware. You instilled in me the value of providing service to others, and for that, I'm eternally grateful. Thank you, each and every one of you.